Hey guys, I wasn't sure when I was going to be back with a new video, but here we are. Um, yeah, I'm still getting used to doing videos again. It's quite awkward for me because like it's been a while. Like honestly, it has been a while. So let's just get into it. I made a lot of videos about like being gay, obviously, with my ex-boyfriend and stuff, but I realized I didn't actually make like my coming out story to my family and friends and stuff, and that's what I want to do today. I think that in the past I didn't really want to talk about it because I didn't know how they would feel about it and how I would feel about it, because it's a bit of a touchy subject and it's quite a complex story. So if you wanna hear about this, stay tuned. So I'm going to spill the tea. There's no spill. Spill. Let's take a stroll back to when I was 16, which was about, it was 11 years ago. That's 2008, I think. Something around that. So I'm gonna start at the beginning to give you context for everything. When I was about 15, 16, I had a group of friends that we would go out, and there was this girl there, and we were friends, but I was kind of like, I think she wants a bit more, and I thought like that I wanted a bit more. Now at that point I was kind of like, okay, I don't think I'm pretty sure I'm not straight, but I didn't really know, so I was like so we went out a bit, and then at like 4 a.m. I remember, this is like so romantic, like 4 a.m. at like sunrise, we kissed. And that's when I realized that I'm not attracted to females. That's like amazing. I think it's like really like, you know, it's like a scene from a movie, except I'm gay. So at this point, I realized I'm probably not attracted to females. So at that time, I was in a forum that was kind of like an alternative forum. And that's where I met my first boyfriend. This is a very complex story. I'm gonna keep it very short because it is very complex. But we met there, we talked for like a month. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I fell for him like hard. Like I don't know why. This was like my first something. I don't know what it was, but like I was really in love with him. And I was in love with him for like years after, which is crazy to me. But to make this short, we were talking for like about a month, for like tons and tons of hours, really like hours and hours, like during the night and everything. And the time came that we actually met. We didn't get to talk too much. He was very awkward. I was like, I don't understand. Basically when he left, he gave me like, he kissed me, like, which on the record he kissed me, but he gave me like a small like kiss on the lips, and then he left, and then the next day he broke up with me. So honestly the reason for that is that he's straight, or like, yeah, like I don't know if he's straight, but like he's definitely more into females, and I think that he is straight. Back then, that was like the scene days where everyone were like bisexual, and it was great, and it was all just a thing. So, and that kind of sucks because I was in love with him for years too, in the future. But point is, when we started dating, I started to come out to my friends. I remember it very vaguely, to be honest. I just remember that I took each friend like the time kind of to the side and kind of talked to them about that. And they were all really accepting. Like I had no issues at all when it came to that. I'm pretty sure at that point, with what I'm going to say next, that people pretty much knew that I probably am gay or not straight. I don't know. In my school, I didn't care anyway, so I really did not care. I did not give a shit. So after that, like after a few months, and now we're getting to the actually coming out to my parents' story. After that, like a few months after, a friend of mine introduced me to a friend of hers. Like she hooked us up. Is that like not in a sexual way, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And we really kind of hit it off, and we started talking. It was kind of good, and that was my actual first boyfriend, I would say, and the guy that I lost my virginity with. So here is when things started to get tricky. As I mentioned, like, I was on that forum, and in that forum you can write if you're like your sexual orientation. So after I was with while I was with the first guy I told you about, I kind of changed there to bisexual. So the first night I spent at that guy's house, like, that my friend introduced me to, that night I got a call from my mom. And she was like, now granted, I went to his house, and he was, it wasn't that far, but it's like about an hour drive. Now in Israel, it's very small. Israel is very small, so like an hour drive is quite a bit. And like, but he was like an hour drive, and it was like already like 8 or something like 8 p.m., like 8 in the evening. So it was very weird, a very strange conversation. Like, my mom called me and asked me like if I could, like, they wanted me to come back home, and like they don't feel like safe me being there, and like they want me to come back home. And I was like, I'm not gonna come back home. Like, I just came here, and like it's really late. I don't have the energy right now to go back. It's like, no, I'm not gonna come back home. Like, what? Why? Like, there is no. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I was like, no, I'm gonna come home tomorrow morning. Like, don't worry, but like, I'm not gonna come home right now. I didn't think they know, but it was quite a weird conversation, and I can't say that I really, like, to some extent I hid it from them, but to some extent not really. It's just I didn't tell them, but I also, because I wasn't there yet. Like, I don't know, I wasn't there yet. But fast forward, I think that was actually the day I lost my virginity as well, which is kind of interesting. But fast forward to the next day. So I go home. I get home at about like evening, something like that. I remember it was dark outside. It might have been like winter, so I don't know. But it was like afternoon, evening. I get home, and when I come in, it was kind of strange. I get like in the door, and it was very strange. So my mom told me like to join her as we take our then dog for a walk, which I really loved. And I was like, okay, this is kind of strange, but okay. So I join her. We go downstairs to take the dog for a walk. And basically what she had told me was this. She asked me if I was bi or gay. I don't remember exactly what, but back then I was bi. So she was like, asked me, are you bisexual? And I was like, okay. I was like, honestly, I was just like, I was kind of taken aback, like, to some extent, but I was also kind of figuring it out. Now, she said it kind of like tearing up and stuff. And I was like, yeah, and what? Like, I was really like, yeah, and what about it? Like, now, here's why I didn't want to tell this story a while ago. And I just got closure with them now about it, because I did talk to them not that long ago about it, when I was just visiting Israel. So this is why I feel like comfortable talking about this. But she told me that my dad got on like the forum that I told you about, and they basically spied on me and saw that I wrote that I was bisexual there. So to me, that is like, no, that was like a big no-no. That was like a huge violation of my privacy. I'm sorry, yes, teenagers have privacy, especially me being like, honestly, never made any problems. It was just my appearance. It was just my, like, because I was going through a lot, and it was really hard for me, and I still look like this, and it's still completely okay. Like, this is me, but like, I never did drugs, I never smoked, I never drank alcohol. Like, I was never a problematic kid, like, ever. So to me, this is like, no, it's not okay. I think when you, if I would have given like some kind of reason for them really to be worried, maybe, but still it's quite a big violation of my privacy. But anyway, that's how they found out. So my problem with this whole story was basically that I didn't get the chance to come out. I was taken out of the closet, and to me that is like very cruel. It's not something I would wish for anyone else. Honestly, it was not easy, and it was not fun, and it was not something I felt ready to do back then. But I didn't get a choice. So I'm okay with my parents about this. I don't want anyone like being like judging my parents for this. We went through a lot, but I understand now more. I still don't think that's an okay move, but we're okay now, and we have like great relationship now, and everything's good. But that was quite a thing. So after that, it wasn't that easy to them, to be honest. My parents are open-minded. It's not that they were like, okay, get out, you're not or sign more, not at all. They're always loved me like a lot and gave me like so much, and I really do appreciate them for all of that. But I could see that they were like really shocked, and it was very hard for them to accept this. And this for me was, I don't know if it was hard for them to accept this. I think it was a combination of that plus the fact that I looked very different, and then I grew up and had like white hair and looked a lot more feminine, and they had to deal with all these things, not just me. Like I wasn't the only one like dealing with this, like with all the attention stuff that I chose to at the end of the day, because this is how I felt comfortable, but they had to also deal with it, and it wasn't their choice. So I would say like that is somewhat unfair to them, like in that case, but it is what it is. Like I felt like I need to express myself in the ways that I felt I need to express myself, and I still do, and it's okay. But back then, to be honest, I didn't really feel accepted for that, and that created quite a bit of problems later with another guy I dated and stuff. But they basically knew at that point, and me and that guy like dated for about a month more, I think, or something like that, and then it ended with him cheating on me, because that's what happened with every single guy that I dated before I dated Roy, like Princess. Literally they all cheated on me. And then like when I was about 18 until the age of 23, until I started dating Roy, I didn't go out with anyone, I didn't date anyone, I didn't kiss anyone, even like nothing. I didn't do anything. No, obviously not one night stand, like literally nothing. But that's a whole other story that is much more complicated. But yeah, that's pretty much like my coming out story. So like I didn't actually come out. I got taken out of the closet, which again, I don't wish upon anyone, and it's not a nice thing to have been done to you. I understand they were like worried about me, and they care about me a lot, obviously. But it was quite a dark time in my life, and I to be honest, like when people say like I wish I was a teenager again, I wish I would like could live that again, it's like no, hell no, cannot relate to any extent. Like I would never ever want to go back to that time, ever, like ever. It was the most horrible time of my life, hands down. Like there is no other period of time that was like as bad as my teenage years. Like hands down the worst. So yeah, like I said, now like we're completely okay and everything's good. And obviously when I started dating Roy, it was completely different. And obviously they met him, he came to our house like tons of times, they talked, they liked him, everything was good, you know. So like and there is no problem. Like right now they don't mind, and they completely accept it, and everything's good. Like it's not like they didn't accept it back then, but it was hard for them to make like the switch kind of. And I remember quite a few other instances where it wasn't very nice, but honestly it's kind of in the past, and I grew from it, and I learned how to forgive them and realize also that they were and are human. That's something I think sometimes we kind of forget, that our parents are human, and yes, they should act in a certain way, they should be a certain way, but at the end of the day, the human, like, and that's okay. And I learned to, yeah, to forgive them about a lot of things and learn to see their point of view about a lot of things that happened in my teenage years. And yeah, we have a really good relationship now, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, that's pretty much my coming out story, and basically none of my friends had any problems with me coming out. Granted, all of my friends were female, like they always have been, kinda. I never really had too many male friends, so I guess that's also a lot of the reasons why it was never really a problem. And yeah, I was like in fairly like accepting environment, and I'm really happy about that. But I think that also has to do with me being alternative and being friends with people that are more intelligent and open-minded to begin with, and then it wasn't really a problem because those were my friends anyway. And back then pretty much all my friends were, like, not all my friends, but most of them were alternative. And I am also lucky to come from a city that is like very close to Tel Aviv, and I wouldn't say generally like open-minded, but it's like basically people that are like from higher social economical levels, so basically like, you know, not poor people. It's not that they were like rich really, I don't come from like a rich city really, but it's just, you know, the normal plus. So that was like easier. Also, people did not know how to, what the fuck? Like seriously, like growing up, people did not know what the hell happened, because I was literally one of the only alternative people in the city. Yeah, it was just me and like 2 other friends of mine that I met like a lot later in life, so pretty much just me. It was kind of crazy, but that's a story for another time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and it gave you a bit of perspective about this, because I feel like this is like quite interesting, quite like important part of my journey. I think it puts stuff kind of in perspective. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I want to make another video talking about being kind of like alternative and gay, which is also quite an interesting experience, I feel, that not really too many people experience or talk about, because there aren't a lot of alternative gay guys. So yeah, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more. I'm going to try to again to upload more, but to be honest, right now I'm just uploading whenever I really like feel like it, and whenever I feel like I have something to share. I think that's a lot healthier for me right now. So and of course, like I said, I'm gonna start doing like more videos, and I have another update to update you guys on, so that will also come in the future. Quite major things like happening in my life that I feel like I need to share. So anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.